Welcome to the East End. I'm Erin Colton.
And I'm Joe Arena.
We've got lots to see this weekend.
And while you're exploring it all with us, don't forget to play along in our East End trivia game. You'll see questions pop up during the show. Scan that QR code, submit your answers, and you might just win some East End swag. Well, we always say that we have the sweetest job, and this right here is the proof.
Yeah, we're at the Treatery in Jamesport. It is an artisan bakery that has desserts that are almost too pretty to eat. It's a must-stop spot on your East End travel list, and today we're going to be finding out how to make some of their best desserts, including the chocolate chip cookie.
Can't wait for that. And while we head to the kitchen, we're taking you to the water for a true bay-to-table experience with oysters.
Hey, Phil.
Hi, Erin. Nice to meet you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, great. Thanks for coming. Welcome to our farm.
Oysterponds Shellfish Company was started about 20 years ago by a couple of guys who love the waters of Long Island's East End.
A bunch of retirees that were doing it mostly as a hobby, but then people really started asking them for the oysters in stores and restaurants. Take care of that.
Phil Mastrangelo is a partner in the company and has helped grow their oysters on what's now more than 68 acres.
We're the largest oyster company in New York State, largest oyster growers. We ship stuff coast to coast and border to border. In the summertime, the creek becomes a nursery. So all of our juvenile oysters start here. We draw water up from the bay and we bring those seed up to about 6 millimeter, at which time they go to Greenport. We have dock space there and we put them in floating upwelling systems.
Let's go. Phil and Brian Tuthill, whose grandfather helped create the oyster farm, took me into the waters in Orient Point to check in on the stock. So where are we walking to now?
Row 10.
This creek has been owned by the Tuthill family, Brian's family. Brian's 5th generation oyster farmer. They've been the stewards of this creek. It's the same as it was 300 years ago, 200 years ago.
You just see how they're so dirty?
Yeah.
Like they've been somewhat filter feeding all winter. Like they are hibernating.
And you're basically just checking on them.
Yeah, these will be sold this winter. We just want to flip them over and give them a clean. Ready?
Shake.
Okay.
Give it a dunk.
Then you give it a dunk.
Oh.
And then a turn.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
There I go.
Yeah, see how much like stuff's coming off of it?
Yep. Do a little this.
Yeah.
And flip it.
Yeah, perfect. On to the next.
On to the next.
There's only a couple thousand.
What we do in the water, nobody else does. We are the only mitigation of nitrogen and carbon in the water.
Hard work. After harvesting the oysters, they go straight into this large tumbler machine that sizes and cleans them. So what happens when the oysters are bundled and bagged? Some are sold to our local East End businesses and restaurants for you to enjoy. That includes Little Creek oysters in Greenport, where I brought my harvest of the day.
We showcase a couple of dozen different farms throughout the course of a year.
Ian Weil owns the restaurant that says it puts purpose over profits. They aim to teach people about oysters, including how to shuck them, while also highlighting smaller farms.
Little Creek is a community of people that enjoys learning and experiencing new things. It's in our interest for you to know how to do this at home, enjoy them, how to safely care for them in your fridge. We do a lot of oyster education, whether you happen to buy them from us or not.
Something tells me it's not going to be that easy for me.
I take the knife at a 45-degree angle to the hinge. Just gonna wiggle it back and forth a little bit.
Stick it in.
Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Keep your hand up nice and high, and you're aiming for that.
Oh,
Cut it off the top.
All right.
They get prettier and cleaner every time.
And Little Creek prepares oysters in ways you may have never tried before.
So those are our grilled Beulah oysters. They're a pesto, Parmesan, sun-dried tomato on an Oysterpond Select.
How do you eat it?
There's no real rules. Scoop the whole thing onto a bread.
Wow.
And that's pretty good stuff.
That's really good.
Yeah.
2 local East End companies working together to make sure the community enjoys the bounty.
We are having a very tangible environmental impact. We are seeing in spots that we have been there for a year or two out in the bay where we're actually changing the structure of the bottom. We're seeing more plant life. We're seeing more juvenile finfish, crabs.
Do you ever just think like, I just want to be in an office somewhere?
No, never.
Never?
No.
Why?
No. I gotta move around, I think, and keep busy. This is like the best office, I would say.
It all comes full circle. You realize you're doing something pretty special that not a lot of people do.
Another cold day on the water for you there.
Let's not even talk about it. So many limbs were frozen, I couldn't even count them.
Ooh.
But it was amazing.
Yeah.
All right, we are here in the Treatery, and we're finally with the owner, Christina Pedrazo. You're coming up on 5 years owning this business. What inspired you to open?
Honestly, my grandfather. He owned a restaurant for 30 years in Comac, and he brought people together through food. And that's what we try to do here.
But the stars of the show could maybe be the chocolate chip cookies that we're gonna learn how to make.
Yes.
Why are they so good? Why do people come from all over to buy them?
Honestly, it's really simple. It's nostalgia, it's simple ingredients, and we just do it from our souls. It's made with love, honestly.
While we get suited up to bake, let's make a stop at the Weathered Barn in Greenport, a unique boutique with lots of handmade treasures.
It's true there's a little bit of everything for everyone on Front Street in Greenport, but perhaps there's no store that does a better job of providing that variety than the Weathered Barn.
I sew, I paint, I physically craft things. We make all the bath and body here. We make all the home fragrance.
And kitchen essentials, bags, jewelry, and much more. And Rena Wilhelm is also the merchandiser and buyer for this inviting shop, where the decor is one of a kind and the offers are endless.
Because we do have a lot of regular customers, I don't want them coming in and seeing the same thing all the time. I want them to be able to come in and be like, oh, I didn't see that before. All the home fragrance is made here, all the bath and body is made here, all the greeting cards are my artwork. We have about 10 artisans that we feature in the shop, and we might have a conversation and say, you know what, okay, well, we're a little bit darker, a little bit more modern rustic. What can you do that might fit in the aesthetic? I get bored very easily as a creative kind of person. I'll get into something, you know, for maybe like a couple of years, and then I just get tired. Or a lot of times I'll decide to go in a direction and then it ends up trending almost like too much. And once it sort of gets to like a pottery barn, or then if it ends up trickling down to like a Target, it's like, okay, that is way too saturated, and then we'll just stop making it. For a long time we made hand-painted signs, and then everybody was making them. Even though it was like really profitable for us, it was like, I won't do it.
But what you see today started miles away in the tiny artisan town of Sugarloaf, New York.
I had a corporate interior design job, and in 2008, the market crashed, right? My entire department got wiped out. I was collecting, you know, a little bit of unemployment, but that was going to run out. And being a creative person, I was like getting really, really antsy. So I was like, all right, let me open up the shop.
So Rena and her husband Jason put themselves out there. The only problem, not many customers were visiting.
After a year, we had the opportunity to either renew our lease or come out to where we knew it was already bustling, and Jason's parents were already here.
And it was that family connection that motivated their move to the East End and eventually onto Front Street. And since then, Jason and Rena have been involved in all day-to-day facets of the shop, both working the counter and behind the scenes, where I got a chance to help make one of their more popular products, whipped face and body butter.
The top seller in winter months because it's thick, almost like a frosting, and it's really, really good for dry skin. 3 simple ingredients: coconut oil, mango butter, and shea butter. So we're going to start with the easiest, the softest oil to blend, which is the coconut oil.
Mango butter time. And for a finishing fragrant touch, some almond oil.
Smell that. Right? I know.
Italian bakery.
Exactly.
And after a quick pour and some time for the butter to solidify, the good part.
Oh, wow. Smells great.
And Rena's whipped butter is just one of many bath and body products that go quickly here at the shop. So don't wait too long to make the trip out east to get some. Because even though this is her focus today, you never know what you'll see next here at the shop.
We call it a concept store, and the concept is my brain
Spilled out all over the store.
Spilled out all over. It's I don't sell anything in the store that I don't personally love.
This place is great. They literally have something new every time you walk in, and we made you that whipped butter cream, which we took some home, so that's for you.
I was really hoping this was going to happen. Thank you so much. I can't wait to try it.
Especially for the winter months.
Yep. All right, as you can see, we are dressed and ready for action, but who's the better baker?
We'll put that to the test coming up. Plus,
I think it's also very sort of epitome of American cuisine.
The North Fork restaurant that customers say make the best biscuits in town.
welcome back to the East End, and in this episode we're visiting Jamesport, a great little village with great places to eat, shops, and vineyards.
Including here at the Treatery, it is an artisan bake shop, and one of the best things they have is their chocolate chip cookies. People come from all over the tri-state area just to taste them. We're here with Christina, the owner, and she's showing us how.
And Christina, you've got us sifting through two different types of flour, which is a unique part of this recipe.
Correct. I do use two types of flour, and we use real butter, super important. We bring a little nostalgia to you because that's also very important to us at the Treatery. And you just gotta make it with love. So keep mixing very nicely, like that. Don't get it, we're messy here, but not too messy, okay?
As we get this recipe ready to go in the oven, let's explore a little more of Jamesport.
And not far from the Treatery is a hidden gem where you can sleep steps from the sandy shore of the Great Peconic Bay.
We love it here in the winter. It's so peaceful.
In the heart of Jamesport is a small bayside hotel some call a little slice of heaven.
It's a very private kind of charm. You come down in here and you basically don't want to leave because it's really peaceful. It's another world.
Jamesport Suites' history dates back to the 1920s when they were born from a laundry room.
It was part of another hotel across the street, which was called the Great Peconic Bay House. I think they had 100 rooms. So one building up front was part of that laundry room. So it was really funny.
One room turned into 22, 15 of which they rent to East End visitors year-round.
They're all different types of rooms. We have suites, which are smaller, so those are the less expensive ones. Those have little full kitchens. These bigger rooms that you see right here, these are all the suites. They're upstairs, downstairs. Those sleep up to 6 people. This is one of our bright rooms that we have here. It's beautiful.
It's so beachy.
This one was just all newly renovated.
Not many places have this really huge view of the bay.
Oh my God, and it's circular. If you see, when you go to that room on the end, you can actually see the bay in 4 of the different windows. You're basically renting an apartment on the water, and in the summertime, the place just comes alive. We have paddleboard yoga, we have 2 yoga retreats a year, and everybody brings their food here, and they don't leave because there's so much traffic. They get their stuff, come, and pretty much done for the weekend.
And staying here during the winter time may be the best kept secret.
We're the little guy, you know. We're not corporate. We're just like a small mom and pop hotel. There's a lot of winter stuff to do. Like right across the street's a great restaurant. There's like 5 restaurants within a mile of us. Terra Vitae, the winery, you have Jamesport Vineyard, you have all these vineyards. People just can do that in the winter.
All right, time now to bake the cookies, and here at the Treatery, they bake them only for about 7 minutes on high heat, and that keeps them crispy on the outside and soft in the middle.
And there's more to the Treatery than meets the eye. If you can't come to the bake shop can come to you.
That's right, let's go meet Stella.
Let's go.
All right, so this is Stella, and Christina, this is where it all started for you.
It all started right here, actually at my house. We bet my entire 401k on Stella, if I'm being perfectly honest. All in.
And Christina, before you had your brick and mortar shop in Jamesport, Stella was how you sold your sweet treats. It was a mobile dessert bar.
And we actually could take Stella to weddings. We do weddings all over the North Fork. We do RDNY, Bedell.
What a special place.
And speaking of something special, I got to visit another amazing eatery in Jamesport that's serving up everything from brunch to mouth-watering biscuits. Take a look.
Probably one of the most exciting things for me that we have so many regulars. We see them multiple times a week.
And while the regulars may come to see Marissa Drago, owner of Main Road Biscuit, or even capture that feeling of home, they're also here for her comfort food. And since the fall of 2016, thousands have enjoyed this Jamesport spot for breakfast and lunch.
The concept of this was really, we had spent a lot of time out here, we spent a lot of time on the North Fork. There really was very little in terms of comfort food brunch type experience that I loved living in the city. We really just wanted to bring that out here, and this concept was born of all of the comfort foods and things that we were eating, making, and everything I loved. I had a house out here. I loved the North Fork. I loved the East End, really, not just the North Fork. Decided, yeah, I want to do something out here while my son was young, and I could start something fresh, so we did.
And the idea behind like comfort food, this is the best comfort food. We also have that community connection. I mean, we're surrounded by art in here.
Shortly after we opened, we had a rotating installation here of local artists.
And local ingredients for what's on their plates is also a priority. And Marissa says 95% of their menu is made in-house. And that includes their biscuits.
The idea of the biscuit is something that's just very comforting. It's also something very accessible. And I think it's also very sort of epitome of American cuisine. And I love that personally.
And I thoroughly enjoyed the hands-on experience with head baker Luis creating their latest batch of thick, square, yet almost flaky and uniquely delicious biscuits, which you can also top off with their honey butter. This place has become kind of like a meeting point for people. They just end up here.
There's never a weekend here where we're not putting a candle in a muffin, singing happy birthday to someone. We have events out on the back patio, and we're just honored to be a part of people's lives in that way.
Joe, those biscuits look so good.
The trick is not to load up on biscuits because there's so much other stuff there.
Speaking of biscuits, we got to check in on our cookies.
That's right, we're gonna find out coming up who baked them better and where else Stella goes.
Welcome back to the East End. We have the finished product. Christina's famous chocolate chip cookies here at the Treatery, a bakery here in Jamesport, and we have spent all day cooking these cookies. Now comes the taste test.
All right, let's
Those are the
do
good
it.
ones.
Okay, all right, we're gonna say, oh,
Is there
you
a
got
pocket?
You got pockets.
That's a good sign.
You got pockets.
A pocket's good?
Yeah, pockets are good. Pockets
Okay.
are like a thing.
Then
Hold
this
on.
one.
Hold on. Ooh, you got a pocket and a crumble. That's kind of almost better. All right,
Oh.
hold on. Now we have to taste.
The taste.
leading right now.
I'm also going to take a little taste.
A little
test.
taste?
Yeah.
All right, you gotta taste your own. They're both good. I have nothing else to say.
What?
They have both
A
have
tie?
pockets. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I also just have to say,
Thank you.
this is the best chocolate chip cookie I've ever had in my entire life.
It's just the way it's made like that.
Thank you. High.
You don't see them like that.
High temp. Quick.
Right, quick, high temp. You guys offer a lot of treats, we know that.
We do.
You also offer many other things.
You can do wedding cakes. We love wedding cakes, obviously. And we also have Stella, which we can bring to your home. We could bring to an event, also to a wedding. And then we also have a lot of other things that we could do at the Treatery. So you can bring your kids in here. They can color, do whatever they want, sprinkles on the floor. And honestly, it's just a place to be yourself and be you and eat some dessert.
What's your favorite part about the East End? Why is it so special?
It's because, not to toot my own horn, but like business owners like us who really care about what they do. They care about their ingredients, whether it be nostalgia or not. Everybody just takes a lot of pride in what they do out here, and it's what inspired me to be here, and that's why I'm here, and I hope to stay here. So I hope you guys come out.
Christina, thank you so much for inviting us into your home.
Anytime.
Great experience.
Thank you.
All right, time now to check your answers on our East End trivia game. If you've been playing along, scan that QR code on the bottom of the screen, submit your answers, and you might just win some East End swag.
You'll also find more information on our website about all the places we've explored in this episode.
And while you're there, let us know about your favorite places to visit on the East End, from the lavish to the local.
Because it just may be our next adventure. See you next time.